Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. As you can see by the title, this is going to be a very interesting but hopefully also a fun video for you guys to watch. Recently, the YouTuber by the name of Sarah Chang, on YouTube, she kind of popularized the boy beat. I'm sure a lot of you have probably seen that video. It has millions of views. It is inspired by the makeup artist Sir John. He has worked with Beyonce and a bunch of other women in the entertainment industry and kind of created a look that is reminiscent of a kind of boyish glam. Now, the boy beat, as it's been coined, refers to emphasizing some of the things that are associated with masculinity and also are kind of rejected by femininity and feminine archetypes. There's always an emphasis of redness to the skin, of a flush, of texture, of pores, of blemishes and bushy brows and dark circles, things that are considered beautiful for men but not typically beautiful for women. Sir John in particular kind of took that kind of aesthetic and made it into something that was editorial and beautiful when viewed on women. Sarah kind of did that video inspired by it, and she inspired a lot of other tutorials for it as well, so I want to give a shout out to her. It's also such a great thing to see more women kind of embracing some of our natural flaws, which aren't really flaws, they're just things that happen to us, you know, sun damage, tiredness, not plucking our brows regularly, you know, those are the things that are very common to the human experience. So I kind of wanted to do my take on it using one of the biggest icons of male beauty, which is ZAYN Malik. He kind of inspired me to kind of go a different direction with the boy beat, enhance certain other things to the aesthetic of masculinity, such as a natural oil to the skin, dewiness. I was particularly inspired by some of his makeup artists that he works with, the products that he uses for his skincare that have been revealed by his makeup team. Also, just the recent selfies that he's been posting as well. He has filmed a lot of music videos in Miami, so he's taken a lot of photos of himself drenched in the sun and just looking glowing. I did something like that for a family event, so I did do a tutorial for you guys today of how I achieved this ZAYN Malik inspired look. If you would like to see how I achieved this look and also some tips on the boy beat as an aesthetic in general, then please keep on watching. So my face is completely bare. I only have toner on, and recently I've been watching a lot of Ariel Tejada videos, and if you don't know who he is Kylie Jenner's makeup artist. I'm not particularly the biggest fan of Kylie, and not really the biggest fan of him and his attitude, but I do really like his makeup techniques, and I've just been watching a couple of videos inspired by his routine and stuff, so I've felt compelled to kind of pick up some of the stuff that he does. And what he does first is he always puts on the eyebrows first, and then he moves on to moisturizer, and for that reason I'm going to start off with my brows, just because I noticed that when I do my brows first and I have product on already, I feel like my brows slip around a lot, and for that I'm going to use the Anastasia brow definer, and this is the shade Ebony. I've been using the NYX micro brow a lot, and that one is a little bit smaller and it's comparable more to the Anastasia brow pencil, and I do like that for more fine hairs and stuff like that and for a more natural brow, but that is in a lighter color, and ZAYN has really big bushy fluffy brows, so I kind of wanted to make them a little bit darker with this and just to make them a little bit more fluffy. Just define my arch a little bit and then fill in sparse areas, and this is running low, so that's why I've also haven't been using it a lot, but figured for this look we could kind of get away with it. I'm being very messy because I'm not really focused on making them really precise, because I feel like the only time that ZAYN ever really sculpts his brows is probably just to get rid of any kind of unibrow that's going on, which if we could do a zoom in, you would see that I have tons of hairs in the center of my brows right now too. In general, ZAYN's brows are very crazy and they're not very defined. They kind of just go all over the place, which it's a look. Kind of takes me back to like my middle school days when I really didn't care about my brows. I didn't even pluck them. And to this day, I still never had my eyebrows professionally done. I always do them myself. And that's probably my favorite part about the boy beat in general, because I feel like we're always obsessed with creating a nice blocky fake looking brow, and I like that we could kind of get away from that and kind of embrace the look of having a crazy unkempt brow. Besides the boy beat kind of emphasizing redness and dark circles and stuff like that, which I feel like I've always had naturally, I think it's also great that it also kind of supports having like crazy brows. I always felt insecure growing up, and now having big bushy brows is very trendy, but they have to be kempt and look good, and I feel like I don't want to lose my natural brow because this is something that I've always had and I work hard on, so I want to make sure that I keep myself in my makeup, and that's why I let my brows get like this, and I don't really do them too much for videos and Instagram because I just want to keep them as is. So as you can see, I'm kind of just running crazily the pencil through the brows, and then if I feel like I messed up, I kind of just use the spoolie to make them look a little bit more crazy, but get rid of too much excess product. And then I also am able to take my finger and kind of run through them to kind of prevent any stray marks anywhere, because this is such like a fatter pencil. It leaves more of like a big mark than like it would look like as a wispy brow. To lock them in and make them look a little bit even more full, I'm going in with this Ulta Beauty brow tint. I've been using this a lot recently. It's running low, so I want to try out different brow tints and brow gels in the future, but for now I'm just going to use this, and this is in the shade medium, which is a little bit light, but it helps to kind of make the brows look a little bit more fuller without darkening them too much and making them look a little bit unnatural. And as opposed to doing a more normal look where I would kind of just be normal like that, I'm going like crazy, like pushing it around, then flicking it up, and kind of going out of sorts. Because not only am I trying to mimic the way Zayn's eyebrows look, I'm also trying to kind of stay true to the boy beat and not focus too much on making them look too perfect, but making them look fluffy and big and bold. And if you feel like you went a little bit too crazy, then it's still okay for you to use your finger and kind of run along them. Instead of having to go in and take a concealer and then go crazy, you can just use your fingers, which is really nice. So that took all of maybe 30 seconds without me talking and being, explanatory. So as you could see, it's nothing that looks too unwearable. I don't want this tutorial to seem like I don't care. It's more so fitting into a certain aesthetic. So like I said, I don't have any moisturizer on, so now I'm going to go and apply that. And because I, noticed that Zayn's skin is very glowy and refreshed, and I also have studied what his makeup artists do for his face, which is traditionally just a bunch of high-end skincare. There's a big emphasis on making his skin look bright and fresh because he doesn't wear any makeup. I noticed that occasionally he'll wear an under eye powder. I don't necessarily know if he's wearing concealer, but he does wear an under eye powder. I'm not going to do that because I'm not applying any other products, so I'm not sure how that would translate, so I'm not going to do that. And plus I also want to make sure that my under eye circles are emphasized and I don't lose that, because that's the whole point of the look. I'm just going to go in with a bunch of skincare products, and this is good because it's going to make sure that your skin is healthy. Even though you are letting it breathe, you are still making sure that you are giving it all the nutrients that it needs throughout the day. So I'm just going to use a bunch of skincare products, including SPF. And first up is going to be the Hydrating Milky Serum from Pixi. I use this on a day-to-day basis anyway, but this is just going to be our first initial layer into our skincare. And even just pressing it in and patting it in is creating more redness. Also, what I like about applying so many moisturizers is that it kind of enhances the stuff that we're trying to enhance without adding any product to it. So as you can see, I have all this redness, and I do have my dark circles, and I have a little bit of redness around my nose too, and I have tons and tons and tons of texture, so it is kind of nice that I get to kind of embrace that. Next up is the H2O skin drink from Pixi as well. Once again, this is another thing that I apply during my regular day-to-day skincare, and you've seen it in a couple videos. But this is just going to kind of enhance the dewiness that the serum provided and wake up the skin. It also has kind of like a musky scent to it, which is, you know, ironic for the boy beat. And then something that I don't traditionally do on a day-to-day basis that I just do during the nighttime is apply face oil. I'm going to go in with the Pixi Rose Oil Blend, and I'm just going to place this on the perimeters of the face, not necessarily the center, because I am going to apply a pore minimizing primer in the center of the face. This is more so to give that radiance and to also help my skin look a little bit more supple, but also textured. So looking at Zayn's pictures, not necessarily the one that I posted on Instagram, but just looking through his pictures in general, I'm trying to find a pore and I don't see any. So I am going to go in with a pore minimizing primer. This is not something that I think is authentic to the boy beat, because you're trying to emphasize some of the negative features that we have, but I kind of want to decrease the amount of shine that I have in my T-zone and kind of reduce the pores so that I could look a little bit more like the skin that Zayn has. And the primer I'm using is the NYX Angel Veil, and I'm just placing this in the T-zone right up into my pores, around the fine lines of my mouth, and then also in between the brow. He and also his makeup artist team always apply even just a little bit of powder in the center of his face to kind of disguise pores. While I'm letting the skincare kind of settle into the skin, I'm going to go on to the eyes. I'm not going to do any eye makeup in particular, nor am I going to do mascara, but Zayn obviously has very fluffy, big, voluminous lashes, and I've always admired that, and I don't really have that. I just want to enhance that a little bit, so I am going to be taking the wispies from Ardell, and you could also take the demi wispies, or if you want a little bit more of a natural appearance, you could do individuals, but I'm having like war flashbacks to my Valentine's Day video that I did this year, where I did all the individual lashes, and just thinking about how long it took, and I kind of want this to be a quick makeup looks. And this is also like an optional step because once again it's not very traditional to the boy beat itself, but I do want to mimic Zayn's look, so I am going to go in with lashes. And the reason I'm doing this instead of just putting on a regular mascara, because recently I filmed a couple of videos for Instagram, and to do that I filmed like myself applying makeup I think 3 separate times. So I kept on having to wash my face, reapply makeup, wash my face, reapply makeup, and so I actually, I don't know, got some sort of infection or something in my eye. It was one of those situations where I was like, okay, I need to take a break. It just wasn't going to happen. I was just too crazy with my ambitions, so I had to take a break from that, and that's why I'm kind of like leaning against doing too much with my eyes lately. So instead of putting on possibly a waterproof mascara and hurting my eyes even more, I just want to give them a break and then just apply lashes. And that just adds such like a nice natural beauty to the look. I definitely personally feel a little bit more confident with it. Feel a little bit more confident in my general appearance if I am not wearing makeup. I don't know, it's very Zayn, so. If you feel like you can't put on a lash or even individual lashes, then definitely just go ahead and curl your lashes. You could even do a clear mascara as well. So then, kind of to help out my under eyes, I'm going to go in with the Olay Eyes Ultimate Eye Cream. This one is kind of an all-in-one. It helps to depuff, to reduce the appearance of dark circles and fine lines, but really when I put this on, I'm really just trying to help my eyes out because they do get very dry, and when I add some moisture to them, I get that kind of like dewy, glossy lid. If you look at any picture of Zayn up close, you will see that his lids are so glossy because of the natural oils that he produces. Also, his makeup artists like to put an eye patch on his eyes before events. So they do like to put an eye patch under his eyes to kind of reduce puffiness and reduce the appearance of dark circles. And then they'll go in with, I believe, a La Mer eye cream. And that just makes his eyes look so dewy and glossy. And I love that look. So That's why I'm applying the eye cream. It's not necessarily to reduce anything because I don't feel like I get immediate results out of it anyway, but it does help to kind of restore the moisture to the eye. So next, a very important step, I believe, is to apply sunscreen. And for this, I'm going in with one of my favorites. This is the Age Shield Face Lotion from Neutrogena, and it is SPF 70. You should never go underneath 70 for your SPF when it comes to your face because the skin on your face is very sensitive. So I'm just kind of pressing this in all over the face. I'm not worried about, you know, going over top my primers and stuff like that because overall this is supposed to provide protection for the skin. And I also really, really love the way that this looks just on the skin in general because it leaves such a healthy dewiness. Now, this is something that is optional, but I know for a fact that everybody looks better with highlighter. So I am going to add a little bit of highlight, and for that I am using Sunburst from Anastasia Beverly Hills. This is an oldie and you can't get it anymore, so I'm sorry about that. I was going to use the Amrezy highlighter, but when I am not wearing makeup, my face is a lot more light than the rest of my body, so it doesn't really match with my skin complexion. So when I first put it on, when I first did this look, it left a dark cast on my face, so I had to kind of nix that and go with something that was a little bit more lighter and brighter. So that's why I have to go in with this. Use whatever highlighter fits your skin complexion, and I'm just going to apply this pretty much just in the C of my eye where it connects to the top of my cheekbones. And I'm doing this because Zayn has a natural glow to his skin, clearly, and this kind of just emphasizes that. And also it's really kind of helping to emphasize texture as well, because even though that's something that we don't want to do typically in the makeup world, it does help to do that when you're doing a boy beat, because boys are so shiny. Have you ever noticed that? Like, boys are shiny, don't do anything. They like use like bar soap to clean their faces, and then they're like, oh, ready to go to that family event, and you're like screaming internally. And we're pretty much done, so I'm just going to spray my face with some Smashbox Photo Finish Primer Water just to lock everything in and also give more radiance to the skin that we kind of want a little bit more. Now, Zayn has the most chapped lips of all time. Have you ever seen Zayn's lips? They're so chapped and bloody and just like crusty looking. I'm like, does no one give this boy chapstick, like some Aquaphor or something? Like, help this kid out. And you know what? I could relate, but at least I try to do something with my chapped lips. So I am going to take a little bit of a tinted lip gloss. This is Anastasia Beverly Hills, the shade Undressed, and it's just a nice nude, has a little bit of a brown tint to it, and I'm not going to swipe this all over my lips, but I am just going to dab it in the center. This is going to make sure that it doesn't look too makeup-y, but it does kind of disguise some of the discoloration and makes it look all one tone. And even though that is a very editorial boy beat type of look, it's not very healthy. I tried to kind of at least make my lips look one color and give them a little hydration as well. And here is the finished look. All of my redness is emphasized. I have little zits here and there that I didn't cover up, and I have that natural sheen to my skin that's very much reminiscent of boyishness, and I have a nice gloss to my lids. My brows are very full, my dark circles, all my lines, so that is kind of the essence of the boy beat. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and give me a thumbs up if you did like this video. And also, like, comment if you have seen any tutorials that you recommend me to check out for this look, and also if you recreate this look as well, then let me know. I had a lot of fun with this, and I hope you did too, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!